my sound preferences are. I like bass. And if it can have quantity and quality, yeah, I'm rocking it. Especially mid bass. I like the slam over the sub bass rumble. I like my mids super clean. Not a big fan of overly colored, overly thick, overly warm mids. Not a big fan of that. And highs that are very sweet and seem to be able to keep up without ever being overbearing or in your face. So,
ready for this? For this?
hello, welcome back. It seems if you want something meaty and ballsy, it's coming out of Malaysia or Singapore. So today I'm bringing you another one, and this one is from another Singaporean brand that you've heard of, or maybe not. This is the Symphonium Audio, and this is the Titan. They've also make, which you may have heard, the Crimson, the Helios, the Triton, and the Meteor. And I've heard a lot about this, so I was very lucky to get ears on, and I say thank you to SEKIN, a friend, for the very nice loaner. Now, let's talk about this bad boy. $1,000. Now they say, I'll show you the shell first of all. So that is a little bit of why I'm going to talk about that. That nozzle is extremely short, and there's not a lot in the bulbous area here that kind of sticks into your ear. So fitment may be an issue for a lot of people. Even the O-ring kind of mod didn't help. Jesus, sorry, run away. The ear tips. So I ended up using some Osla Sendafit, and this is the light version, and extends out quite far, and that was the only way I could get this thing to stay in my ears, but again, not easy. The cable is color matched perfectly to this IM, terminated in 4.4. It is really nice and I really like this cable, and it's actually paired really well because these things do have some huevos, some heft to them. And if it was any heavier a cable, I think it would pull out of your ears more. So as it is, I think it worked really well, and it's an SPC to brighten up the top end. This IM I'm going to classify as a Bassophile IM. Now, Fat Frequency you've heard of, they also do bass monsters very well, and they control that bass under about 150 hertz, so there's no bass bleed, and the mids come through spanky clean. This is fantastic as well. I've had the pleasure of listening to the Grand Maestro and also the Scarlett Mini. So at $1,000, this is pretty much double the Scarlett Mini, but it's also, in my opinion, double the IM as well. Truly done Bassophile. Primo, the best I've ever heard, actually. With the Scarlett Mini, it was a nice listen to, but again, I found the mids and maybe the treble lacking a little bit to make it a really solid IM overall that I would pick up on a daily rotation. Well, this is probably not the case for me at all. Inside, they say there is a hybrid BAs, just says hybrid BA, and custom tuned dynamic driver, and that's really all the information you can pull. The top plates are this forged carbon. It really does look, I'll take pictures, sharp, with the blue top plates around. Really pretty IM, very solid. The anodized shell, the 6061 aluminum shells are light still, but they do have some weight to them. Now let's talk about this tuning as a Bassophile. It's not, as a Bassophile, it's not all about the bass. Thank you, Megan Trainer. But they control the bass so tastefully done. And there's a lot, like legitimately on the graph, I'll pull it up here, there is a 20 dB bass shelf. That is monstrous. And so it's a bit scary, and I mean, obviously if you don't like bass, stop watching this video right now, though I still like you. There's zero bass bleed when it comes to the mids, and that was one of the things that I'd love to talk about, is the mids are so, the tonality and how the singer's voices come across so naturally. It is very well done. Same as instruments. The mids are absolutely beautiful in this IM. And the treble, wow. Like we pull up that frequency response here. Your normal, you know, the pinna rise starts kind of lower, so it's not a huge steep pinna gain. Starts at your normal, you know, 1 kilohertz, goes up, you know, and has this little teeny dip around 4,500, back up at 5,000, not a huge spike. A small drop, but man, that extension past what dogs can hear is absolutely fantastic, and what gives this IM such a overall kind of lively and unique sound. I really do enjoy it as well. This thing is absolutely as far from balanced as you can get, because there is that 20 dB bass shelf that if you have songs and tracks that have bass in this IM, your head is getting slammed. And yeah, no prisoners taken on this bad boy. But that bass is not just quantity, it's quality as well, and that's really well done. The way they've done air pressure relief system, again, some internal special sauce and the mojo going on, definitely working on this thing. No pressure buildup for me, no driver flex, none of it. It's again, primo. Just a one quick, again, back to the Scarlett Mini. Remembering reading through my notes, it's this compared to that, this is polished, and it's hitting the audiophile level. The Scarlett Mini was still very, very good, but it didn't do what the Symphonium Audio Titan does. A couple tracks just to share, and these are more vocal tracks, and I wanted to see how this thing would do with normal music and that 20 dB bass shelf. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 by Feist. Wow, lovely vocals, pitch perfect tonality of her voice, definitely bass boosted, huge smile, right? Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. And again, I listen to these tracks on every single IM, so I'm very familiar with it. So not only do the vocals sound great, but instrumental comes through super nicely as well. And again, nothing is off. If it sounded very natural, very clean, and just presented in a way that was not just engaging, but super realistic. Like the instruments do sound natural. Moon Hearts in Space. So here, Tina Gao, she's a cellist. Love her, rock cellist. What I wrote, damn vocals, so clean, so realistic. The cello is absolutely stand out, and the viola as well. So not only can this IM do the lower octaves in the string instruments and bring out the harmonics and the details and the nuances in that kind of string instrument and make it sound correct, the higher strings like the viola also comes through fantastically. This is not an easy task, and we're talking about a super heavy bass Bassophile IM. The overall timbre and the tonality of the Titan is excellent. It's very clean and, I would dare say, uncolored. The bottom end, even though it's hugely boosted, is so tastefully done. The Last Day of Our Acquaintance by Sinead O'Connor. Hair or No Hair at 3 minutes and 22 seconds when the treble kicks in. I guess I use this word a lot. So well done, extended, detailed, just lovely top end. No harshness, not one bit of sibilance, and pitch perfect tonality and timbre of the instrumental and the vocals. Bass on the Titan. You got to talk about the bass. The bass is so well tuned. It is sub bass focused, obviously. So stuff like kick drums, though it does come through sounding naturally, do they sound snappy and fast? Not as much, because you would need more mid bass to do that, and that's where, again, my personal bias and taste would love to see more of that mid bass and maybe less of that sub bass, but totally get the tuning of this thing and totally appreciate what it does and how it does it so very well. And I think with this Bassophile Titan, it's not about, well, it's not all about the bass, that's for sure. It's not just a bass monster, and that's really all I have to say about that. Thank you, Forrest. And wrapping this one up, $1,000 gets you a pretty sweet IM. The only two things that I would note of concern is it needs a shit ton of power to get going. So for me, And it did some funny things to some of my dongles. It sounds all weird and distorted, but when I put it on power, like my desktop system, like the Topping A90D and the Geshelli Labs J2 modified with the Sparkos Pro op amps, the SS25 somethings, and using I used the HIBY R63 as the transport. Fantastic chain, stock cable, and that, and the X-Duo XD05 Pro ESS DAC, the FD5, because it's a bit mids forward. This is the perfect kind of DAC amp to use on the Titan, because the little bit more mids forward, you get some more energy, you get some more presence up there. It makes the female vocals sparkle and come out a little bit more, and same as instrumentals as a mid forward source. Truly fantastic. And that little first effort from HIBY on a desktop stack is a little powerhouse. So it was quite a great pairing as well on that. Thank you for watching on this video. I also have lots of cool stuff. I got the SEKIN also loaned me the Audio Monarch Mark II, and I wanted to hear what Mark II versus Mark III sounded like. I got to listen to a little bit more, not fully enamored. But what I did get behind me, those little boxes, is two really interesting EPZs. Anti-Harman fans, pay attention. The K5 hybrid, something special going on, and I have yet to listen to the IE600 killers, as EPC says, for the little 320. So stay tuned. Thanks much.